There we go. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and start our March team meeting. Unfortunately, we weren't able to all get together because we have this huge snowstorm coming. So hopefully everybody is safe and sound at home. And Tiffany, you better be driving careful. You better be. All right. Well, thank each of you. I thank each of you for joining me tonight. I know this is not the normal way that we do our meetings. And, you know, like I said before, this was something that we were going to try, especially for our out-of-towners, to do a meeting like this. So you're going to notice that this meeting is going to be a little bit different. Oh, do we have somebody popping on with us? Oh, we got Lakin on with us. Hello, Lakin. So I wanted to try something different. Am I froze or are we good? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to make sure, because you know sometimes we start having computer issues, so. Hold on one second. Let me make sure my kid's off the internet.
Caleb?
All right, Becky said she's working on it, so we'll see. Okay, so we're going to start things out with a little bit of team recognition. And so to do that, I'm going to share my screen here so that I can show you guys. Let me pull this up real quick. Something new. Always something new. All right, let me put this on from beginning. Look at that. Go Wolfpack go. Can you guys hear me still?
Yes.
Okay, can you still see me?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What in the world just happened?
I don't know.
I don't either. It's being weird. All right, so there we go. Can you guys see my screen still?
No.
It's clocking.
It's completely frozen from my end.
Well, that's really weird because it's showing me my screen. Okay, let me. It's so funny because I tried all of this earlier and everything was okay, and go figure. Why, oh why, oh why. What in the world? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
That is really weird because now my screen is like frozen and it's spinning, but you can still hear me. So that's even crazier.
Mine's spinning and I have a picture of Becky.
And I have nothing except Rebecca Wolfinger started screen sharing and it's spinning.
Okay, let me. Let me stop it for a second. Well, I see Becky's face now. Yay!
I can't get on my computer. I have to use my phone.
That's really
It says
weird.
my line's not secure yet. I'm hooked to a secure thing.
All right, and we got Laura on with us now too. Hey, Laura. All right, let me try to screen share one more time and see if we're going to be able to get it up. That just sounded all kinds of wrong. Sorry about that. Are you laughing
What
at
are
me?
you laughing at?
Of course I am.
Good. I must have missed something.
Hey, it's starting to snow.
Yay! Snow, let's
What?
change the subject. Okay, so can you see this slide?
No. I see your frozen face.
What
No,
in the
what-
world?
Once it
I
starts to
see
There
what,
it is.
There it is.
there it is. We see it. Woo!
Okay, now I'm excited too. Yay!
Wow.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna, I don't know if the weather's starting to have an impact with our signals or what it is, so just bear with me, guys. You know I love all of you. Hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully, whatever. Hopefully next month I'll have a new computer and we won't have to worry about this. We'll see. All right, so
Is
anyway,
that what the tax fairy's going to bring you?
yeah. So let's check out February sales, guys. This was our team sales for February this year versus last year. So you'll see that in 2016, we did $12,537.26 versus this year, we creamed it with $13,093.62, which was up 4.4%. So give yourselves a big hand, guys. You guys all deserve that. So raise your hand if you participated in that number and turned in sales last month. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You guys are the ones that made that happen. All right. So let's go to our next slide here. Let's see if it's gonna take about 2 years to load or what it's gonna do. Can you guys see that slide?
Yes.
Yay!
Oh, wait. It's the same slide. Oh, there it is. Yay.
Okay, so it's just taking it it's a little bit delayed. Okay. At least it came up though.
Just like my brain.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Well, a big congratulations and shout out to Becky Chilcote for earning our 50 Pampered Chef dollars for last month's Each One Reach One challenge. That was a challenge that I started from February through April, so we still have 2 months for people to earn tickets into that drawing. And so just a reminder of what I'm talking about, because we do so many crazy challenges, that each month from February through April, when you recruit, by month, you're going to earn a ticket for that month. And at the end of the month, I'm going to draw a winner for $50 in Pampered Chef dollars. Okay? So Becky was the only one that recruited along with me last month. And so Becky was automatically our winner of $50. So this month we can already recognize and congratulate.
Already.
Bridget Weaver has already brought on her first team member this month. So she's already earned her first ticket this month. And so anybody else that recruits is going to go into a drawing at the end of the month for 50 Pampered Chef dollars. So at the end of our challenge on May 1st, I'm going to draw an overall winner. And if you have recruited consecutively all 3 months, then you are automatically entered into win. So you must recruit in each of the 3 months in order to be one of the final winners. But still, who wouldn't want 50 Pampered Chef dollars to throw, get some new products? So Becky, what are you going
Already spent.
to get with your 50 Pampered Chef dollars?
I'm probably going to go to the outlet and get stuff that I can use for giveaways. And I bought a bunch of the snowflake spoons because I love them.
Yep.
And I do little crafty things. So I got those before, and the placemats and napkin sets are kind of nice, and they are good for quarter auctions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And
Those
they're
are the
very
things
cheap when you
definitely.
get them.
Yep. those are the kinds of things that they have a value. They have a higher value, but you're not putting a lot of money out for them. So absolutely great idea for the
Right.
corporations. Okay. So congratulations, Miss Becky. Who wants to join her? Who wants in that $50 pot for the month? I
Me,
know somebody out there wants to take my money. All right, so let's talk goals for a second. What is your goal with your business and how are you going to reach it? You know, I kind of have always told you guys that you have to have something that you're reaching for in order to grab a hold of it. Because if you're walking down a path and you have no destination, really, do you ever know where you're really going? So it's kind of the same process with a goal. You have to know what you're reaching for. So you want to set a goal that scares you, okay? So I love this quote, set a goal even if it scares you. Trust me, everything you want in your business is on the other side of fear. There's lots of things that you're going to find yourself or find in this business that scare you. You know, is anybody afraid of picking up the phone and calling someone? I would say we're afraid of it, but it's uncomfortable. And so sometimes that also registers in our brain as fear. Anybody afraid of doing that? Anybody afraid of picking up the phone?
I'm not necessarily afraid. I just don't like to do it.
Yeah. And I think the thing that keeps us held back is rejection. You know, if we know
Right.
if we know that there's a possibility of being told no, in your brain it registers like, oh, I really should not do this. I should avoid that no word, right?
Correct.
But liking it is not one of the requirements, right?
Exactly. Sometimes we have to push ourselves out of the comfort zone in order to grow. Okay, now my dogs are going to start fighting. I love it.
Dogs?
Yeah, real life, people.
Right, you do have to.
It's all about real life, right? I've got kids that are back there screaming and dogs that are barking. Welcome to the Wolfinger household.
Kind of matches.
So what fixes all of our issues in Pampered Chef? Okay. So think about it. If your goal is to promote maybe to the next level, maybe you're a senior consultant and you're looking to promote to a team leader, or maybe you're a team leader and you're looking to promote to a director, or maybe you haven't even started growing a team, but you want to, you know, bump up to that next level of senior consultant. Bookings will fix it. Let's say your goal is to make more money. What will fix it? Bookings. Bookings are what are going to bring you, you know, money. So if your goal is both to promote and to make money, then it's time to believe that you can book shows. I think some of us get held back in the thought when you've been through a rough patch in a business like this, where you've heard a lot of no, or you've had a lot of bad experiences, or you've had a lot of rejection, or you've had a lot of cancellations, that you mentally get stuck thinking that you can't book shows anymore. And really, it has to start with your own personal belief. And if you believe in yourself and you believe that you can book shows, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to book shows.
You can.
You can, absolutely. So the key ingredient in small business is you, okay? I want you guys to remember that you are the energy, the dreams, and the passions behind your business. So I know you guys have heard me say about the no excuse attitude, okay? So let's talk about that for a second, because I know now you're thinking, well, she makes it sound so easy. And of course I would have a full calendar if I could, but would you? Sometimes we let our fear or other people's fear of something positive get in the way. And what do I mean by that? Have you guys ever been stuck in a cycle where everything bad just happened and continued to happen? And so you never really thought, because so many bad things continue to happen, you never really thought about the positive things that could start happening. You know, I know my own personal self. Here, I'm going to stop sharing this screen for a second. I know my own personal self, with the last 5 years of things that have happened in my life, going back from, let's see, losing my job of 10 years to my father-in-law being diagnosed with cancer, to then losing him, to having a son that was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes and almost losing him, to my own issues with mental illness that I suffer with. There's lots of things that I could have allowed to hold me back in this business, especially, and there's been times where I do feel stuck. I do feel like I am not going to succeed. I do feel like nothing positive is happening. I do feel like I'm not getting the results that I probably should be getting. But if I choose to stay there, then that's all that's going to continue happening, is I'm just going to stay stuck, right? Because if you don't do anything that's going to change that, you're going to just create the same momentum, okay? The negative momentum is just going to continue. And so, I'll use last week as an example. Most of you guys know that I suffer with bipolar. And so I don't know how familiar you guys are with bipolar illness, but bipolar runs in cycles, okay? So you can have cycles of high productivity. You can have cycles of severe dark depression. You can have cycles of just being there, okay? And so last week I was having one of those cycles where I just was kind of there. And believe it or not, most of you guys know I've had a pretty successful business in the last 5.5 years. But like last week, I had calls I never returned to customers. I had host packets I never popped in the mail to customers. I had host coaching that I didn't do. And I allowed that to happen. I was stuck. I was mentally stuck. And so sometimes I think you have to challenge yourself because, do I want to stay there or do I want to not stay there? You have two options. Either you're going to stay there and you're going to be okay with it, or you're going to force yourself out of it. Okay. And I chose to force myself out of it. I gave myself that 24-hour pity party that sometimes I think that you have to walk through. Woe is me, terrible results. I'm a terrible director. I'm a terrible consultant. I can't get bookings. I can't recruit. I can't. You allow yourself that little bit of time to have your pity party. But then if you want to get past it, you have to get past it. So let's go back to screen share.
But you do know that you are a great director and you do recruit and you do train us. You know all that, right?
I try my best is what I can tell you guys. But what I'm saying is there's times I think sometimes people look at me or my business and think I don't go through some of the same personal battles that other people go through. And what they don't know is that I'm right there with them.
We're all human.
I'm right there with you guys. I go through the same thing. I go through the same rejection, the same no's, the same cancellations with shows, the same, low show attendance from time to time because I know I didn't do a good job host coaching. So I go through the same ups and downs in this business that each of you guys do. But sometimes we get in our own way. That's what I'm trying to say. So sometimes we let our own fear or others' fear, like I said, kind of distract us from something positive because, we mentally get stuck. We mentally have to believe that we deserve something positive in our life for it to happen. So sometimes we let our own self-doubt get in the way. And on most occasions, we stand in our own way. Woo, that was like weird. Anybody else getting an echo?
Yeah. Hold on.
That's really weird. Okay.
Is it still there?
Is it gone?
No. It's me. There it is.
I finally got the computer to work.
Okay.
So
Oh,
I turned
yeah.
off the phone.
So let me ask you guys, when is the last time you picked up the phone and did customer care, called to thank a customer who ordered from a virtual party or outside order on a show, followed up with leads from a vendor show, reached out to the past customers to let them know about our new catalog, or followed up with those that you mailed a new catalog? And you guys can see down there, you know, anybody ever use that? I don't have time. I'm too tired. I have a bad knee. I love that one. I have a bad knee. I can't do it. Anybody guilty of that?
I am, but as I told you last week, my time freed up real quick.
Yeah. Sometimes God's kind of trying to show you something, you know, like I've told you before, Angelica. I mean, do you think after 10 years I expected to walk into work and not have a job? So I've been in those same shoes, and I know how it feels, you know, to walk in and not have a job and not know where that next paycheck was going to come from. So when's the last time anybody did one of those on that list?
What, called anybody or did anything like that?
Let's go down through the list. Picked up the phone and did customer care. When's the last somebody
No.
called and thanked a customer, checked in, see how their products were, see if they need recipes? That's what customer care is kind of all about. Anybody done customer care in the last 30 days?
Last week.
Who said last week?
Michelle, I'm here.
Woo! Let's give that girl some kudos.
Yay. It was with that virtual party that did really well.
Awesome. Anybody else done any customer care? Okay. When's the last time we called to thank a customer who ordered from a virtual party, or even an order on like an outside order from a cooking show? Anybody done that in the last 30 days?
I didn't call, but I did personally talk to a girl.
Did you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
I had one that she ordered for a party and was out of state, and I was talking to her on Messenger, and I thanked her on Messenger, and then I called her to double check all the information, and I also thanked her while I was on the phone with her.
Absolutely. What I want you guys to think about when we're talking about customer care or calling to just simply thank someone from, you know, them placing an order for on a show, okay, is this. You know, and I know that we've discussed this before, but we have a lot of new consultants, so I think it's important to kind of share this again. A lot of us have shopped with different direct sale companies, you know, let's say Mary Kay or Scentsy or LuLaRoe or, you know, whatever, Vantel Pearls or whatever it is. I think we've all made a purchase probably in the last, I don't know, 6 months. Anybody made a purchase from a direct sale company in the last 6 months? Raise your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now keep your hands raised for a minute if you have. How
So does
many?
Pampered Chef count?
What's that?
So does Pampered Chef count?
No. Anything
right.
other than Pampered Chef. Okay. So keep your hands up. Now, how many of you that have made those purchases in the last, let's say, 3 months have had a phone call from that customer to say thank you or just to follow up and see how your products were? Keep your hands raised if they have, and put your hands down if
Phone
they haven't.
call, I've gotten messages.
You've gotten messages, but not a
Yeah, like-
personal phone call.
Not a personal phone call.
Okay. So does anybody have their hand left raised? No.
Chris's sister, does that count?
So why is that important for us to do it then?
Makes us stand out.
That's exactly right. It separates us. When you think about it, wouldn't you have loved for, you know, that consultant to just follow back up and, you know, let's say a Scentsy person as an example. I bought a warmer from her for, 6 months. We're just going to make up a little scenario here. I bought a warmer from her for 6 months ago. And, 3 months later, she follows back up with me just to say thank you. That's the perfect opportunity for her to do what?
Ask if you'd be interested in doing a show.
Yeah, following up, because most of the time, every 6 months, most direct sale companies have a new catalog coming out. And so, but it's also the perfect time for her to say, hey, do you need any more wax? For your warmer? So we're kind of the same way. So, that consultant is missing the boat because she's missing those add-on sales. So let's say you have a customer that 6 months ago bought the Rock Crock from you, right? So they have the Dutch oven or they have the everyday Rock Crock. And so now what do we have that we can call them, check and see how the Rock Crock is? And now what do we offer them?
Slow cooker.
Absolutely, that slow cooker stand. Anybody been using that? Anybody own it? It is absolutely amazing. Isn't it, Laura? Huge kudos to Pampered Chef for that one, because let me tell you, it is a absolute workhorse now. I mean, think about it. When the Rock Crock can do everything and cook everywhere, and now you can turn it into a crock pot.
I love it.
Me too. It is fabulous. So I would tell you guys that, and I've showed you guys before, like on our team page, there is a picture posted that you can go back and you can pull up your order history to see who you've sold products to. Those are the kind of products, when you have something that will cross-sell well with an existing product that's brand new, that's the perfect time to follow back up with that customer. So like now, I pulled up my list of people that have already purchased the Rock Crock everyday size or the Dutch oven. And so I make the phone calls to people to offer them a show so that they can get the Rock Crock slow cooker stand to go with it. So that's part of customer service. It's customer service because you're giving them an extra something that they can, use that Rock Crock for. But let's say they don't own a Rock Crock. What's something you can follow up with a customer about right now?
The new products.
The new products. Absolutely. Would you guys all agree that this new catalog rocks?
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't believe that the products are amazing, you need to look at the catalog again. I challenge you to fall in love with the catalog, okay? Because just like we need to have the same belief in ourselves, we have to have the same belief in the products that we sell. And if you're not in love with them, you're not going to book shows for them, right?
All right.
Anybody in love with the ceramic egg cooker? Anybody been using it?
It's okay.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have it yet. I'm waiting on it to get here.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
Not too long ago.
It is absolutely amazing. And that's the kind of product that when you have like, customers or hosts from the past that have a super hectic lifestyle, that's the product that you go after them with. It's $15 with a phone call, and you call them and you say, oh my gosh, Laura, I have a product that's going to change your breakfast every day. And I am kooky on the phone. Just ask my customers. That's why they love me, though. I swear. What you see is what you get. All right. Where were we? When's the last time okay. So let's see. What else were we? When's the last time you followed up with leads from a vendor show? Has anybody done a vendor show in the last 3 months?
Yes.
Has anybody followed up with leads in the last 3 months?
Yes.
Awesome. What kind of results are you getting?
I got one
Book
book.
the show.
You got a booking, Lakin?
I did.
Awesome. Becky, what'd you say?
Booking.
Got a booking? Awesome.
Yep.
Heather and Chris, I know you guys have been doing a lot of vendor shows. Have you guys followed up with leads?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
How's that going?
actually got another show or another event off of a previous event.
Awesome. That's great. Because, you know, the fortune is where? In the follow-up. So how many of you guys have reached out to past customers about the new catalog? Anybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have we mailed catalogs to people?
Yes.
Yes.
And those that we have mailed catalogs to, have we followed back up once they've received them?
Yes, and I booked another Facebook party.
Whoop, whoop.
That's in addition to the cooking show.
Awesome. So can I tell you that, you know, the $2, because it was like about $2.12, I think, per envelope that I mailed to customers. If I spent, let's say I mailed 25 packets and I spent the $50 to mail these catalogs, and I just mailed them, but I don't follow back up with them, am I getting a return on my investment?
No.
No. Very few and far between, unless somebody is absolutely like drop dead excited about one of the products and needs to have it in their kitchen, are they going to be the ones that initiate a phone call to you or a message to you to book a show. So if you've spent your time and you've spent your money on the catalogs to mail them, then whose job is it to follow up?
Yours.
Whoop, 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 whoop. It's mine. All mine. Yes, it's all mine. All mine. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I did the whole golden ticket thing too. That was like a big thing that was all over Facebook with Pampered Chef Consultants to send out, you know, some golden tickets and offer XYZ, you know, on the golden ticket. And so I challenged my golden ticket winners to tag themselves with their golden ticket when they received it and tag me. And 4 of the 5 have now done it. And all 4 of the 5 have now booked a party. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will post the golden ticket information for you guys. Has anybody else done the golden ticket? You guys are looking at me like I have like deer in headlights.
I'd never heard of the golden ticket method until I saw you posting it on your page.
Okay. So basically what it was is, you know, and let's say you're somebody that has not mailed catalogs out to customers. I took a picture of myself with a golden ticket and I just did, you know, if you're on my Pampered Chef page, my group, then you would have seen it. And just said that, you know, who wants a catalog? I'm going to be mailing out catalogs to people, and 5 catalogs will have a golden ticket in it. And in order to claim the golden ticket, you have to tag yourself with your golden ticket and tag me in it in order to qualify. And so on the golden ticket, it's they get an extra 25 and free when they have a qualifying show. They get, I think it's like $25 off of a kit, or where's my golden tickets? Hold on. I have them right here. Somewhere. Oh, there they are. Can you guys tell I'm so super organized tonight? No, I'm not doing anything right now. No, these aren't the ones I mailed. But this was another example. This was another example of ones that were on there. That if you really were kind of being budget conscious, then you could do $5 off your next order. If you were more focused on orders. One of my friends came up with them, and it was, so if you were looking for bookings, they were kind of geared toward whatever you were looking for. So if you were looking for recruit leads and bookings, there was one set of tickets. And if you're looking for sales, then there was another set of tickets. So I'll make sure to post both of those for you guys. But it was definitely a good idea. And, you know, little things like that do work. But if you don't follow back up with people, guess what's going to happen?
You're not going to get them.
That's right. Nothing will happen, right? So what are some of the things that we let get in our own way?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. What else?
Fear of failure.
What'd you say?
This little
Fear
guy.
of failure.
Our fear of failure. Our kids. What else?
Excuses.
Excuses. Anything else?
Fear of saying the wrong thing.
Fear of saying the wrong thing. Absolutely.
Sometimes it's life in general.
Life in general. Yep. Let me ask you guys though, are your excuses greater than your dreams? Which is bigger in your life, your dreams or your excuses? That's a hard one, isn't it? It's kind of hard, and it's kind of, if you feel it applies, it kind of leaves you with a little sting, you know, to think about. Sometimes we let our own personal excuses get in the way of stopping us from whatever our dreams are, you know, or our goals. So that's why I asked you guys in the beginning, what is your goal? You know, your goal has to be so big that it is a dream. You know, we should have two types of goals when we run a business. We should have a goal that is attainable, meaning that's something that we can reach. And then we also need to have our big, hairy, audacious goal. Right, Becky Chilcote?
Correct.
And that just means it's that big, huge, scary goal that, oh my gosh, can I even do it? But imagine if you reach that big, hairy, audacious goal, how you're going to feel. Amazing. Especially when you know that you didn't let excuses get in the way of it. So yes, is life going to happen? Always. You know, in the last 5 years, if I would have let any of those excuses stop me, then I would have just been basically, you know, chasing myself around and around and around, because I would have been stopping myself. You know, what I choose to do now is every time I feel like I'm stuck, like last week, that's when I have to remember why I'm doing this. So I challenge each of you to live with the no excuse philosophy, okay? Hashtag no excuses. You know, there are days when I don't want to get out of bed. There are days that I have my own personal pity party, like I said, but then I reflect back to why I do this business. I look at my children's faces and the excuses are gone. They're the reason why I do this business. You know, they are the ones that I provide for. They're the ones that count on me. And maybe you don't do this business full time. So maybe you don't have those little faces that look up to you, you know, and that are counting on you to not have excuses. But what is that goal? What is that dream that you're after with Pampered Chef? What's the reason why you started Pampered Chef? You know, we didn't just get on a whim and say, oh, you know, I think I'm going to start that Pampered Chef business today. No, it just doesn't happen like that. There was something that made you start. And I mean, if I personally recruited you, then yeah, I might have like twisted your arm a little bit and like roughed you up.
I'm still hurting.
Me too.
But every one of us started this business for some reason. Some reason. There's some reason that you started this business. And I mean, yeah, I'd like to believe that you started it because you like me, but let's face it, there was something that caught your eye about Pampered Chef. So I'm going to ask each of you guys right now, okay, and I'm going to put you on the spot. What is that reason? Look, Laura's like, oh no! She's like, oh crap, don't start with me. I won't start with you. I'll give you a minute to think about it, Laura. Look, she's like scratching her head now. Oh crap.
It's cool. It's cool. You're right there.
But seriously, what was the reason why you joined Pampered Chef? What is the thing that made you start and what keeps you going? That's what I want to know. Okay. So I'm going to start on my screen from the top down. So Jambrea, sorry, but you're first.
Extra money, and that's why I'm still doing it, because I need extra money.
Extra money. Absolutely. And have you started making extra money with Pampered Chef?
A little, yes.
Okay. And has it let you do other things that you didn't before get to do?
Help pay my bills.
Pay your bills. That's a good enough reason for me. We like our bills paid, don't we? Who likes their bills paid? I do. Yeah. All right, Wallace's.
Chris made me do it.
Chris made you do it?
Because I love the products and I wanted them cheap.
Okay.
Definitely one of the perks, and then just extra money, because whenever he was out with his hand being broken and then surgery, like, we wouldn't have that money coming in. We would have lost a lot of stuff. So
right.
It continues.
Awesome. Angelica?
I had originally done it just to make some extra money to help pay off some credit card debt, but now it's become my full-time job.
Yeah. So most of you guys don't know, but Angelica kind of walked into the same scenario that I did last week, and she lost her job last week.
Oh no.
Your loss.
So kind of a blessing in disguise, because we're down to one vehicle and they're moving our office to Shepherdstown, and with everything we have going on, I was stressing about how we were going to manage getting everywhere.
I can tell you guys that, most of you guys know that I'm a faithful person. I believe that everything in life happens for a reason. And I think that sometimes we need a wake up. You need this God to come down and say, hey, this is not just all about you. There's a bigger picture here. I had my success with my former company. I accomplished a lot with my former company. I will say that. I learned a lot about myself. But what I didn't realize was how much I was missing out on my family, or how much my kids were missing out on me. And so when I lost my job, it was a huge reality check. You are questioning how you're going to pay the bills. You are questioning, how am I going to feed my family? But I can tell you, if I've done it, then anybody can do it. So Angelica, I'm on this walk with you. You can do it, and I know you can. Tiffany.
I actually
Yeah. Yes.
Your turn.
I don't know. I guess challenged myself to do it. I wanted to do the freezer workshops, and haven't even touched that yet, and just been doing the virtuals. Haven't even done the cooking shows, I guess because of fear. But I don't know. I haven't even touched what I've made, which isn't a lot, but I haven't touched that as far as paying what I wanted to pay. So, because I need to build it up a little bit more.
And that's okay though, because I think that what you're gaining is some self-esteem.
Yeah.
Tiffany she's afraid of going and doing a cooking show. So Tiffany went to a cooking show with me the other weekend, and it was a great cooking show. It was one of those that I was so glad a consultant was there to experience with me. Okay. Because
It was horrible.
I know. It's great.
It was so horrible. Oh, was it horrible? I don't know. I don't know if you guys read the post on the our page, but the host was late by like 20 minutes. The mom was pissed. The dad, he was outside. What else happened? They didn't have stuff set up as far as the food out for Becky to set up her stuff. The kitchen was small, and I understand that, but they had stuff everywhere. I mean, it wasn't even like clean. It wasn't even cleaned up for Becky to put. I mean, it was just really small. So, and then we got split between 2 rooms, and yeah, it was a learning experience for me.
Yeah. But, you know, I was so glad that somebody was there with me to see that, because, again, I think it goes back to this. Sometimes I feel like I'm a unicorn. Have you guys ever felt like a unicorn in life? I know that sounds really weird. But sometimes I think that, you know, maybe some of you guys maybe look at me and you're like, oh, well, she doesn't get cancellation. She doesn't, you know, have bad shows. She doesn't, you know, slack on host coaching or do this or that or this or that. And so I was kind of glad to have a consultant with me that could see that not all of my shows are perfect. They're not all rainbows and sunshine. Absolutely not. You know, there is no little unicorn horn sticking out on Becky's head right here, okay? This girl has bad shows, like every other consultant in this company. I have had my share of many flops and many heartaches, and coming home and my husband asking me, how was your show? And me saying, oh, well, I really got to know my host today because nobody showed up. Because believe me, it's going to happen. It does happen. So, but I think what was valuable about that was that Tiffany got to see it. She also got to see what, you know, a cooking show once we got it started looks like. But it was also time for me and her to kind of just, you know, spend together and kind of bond a little bit. So that was kind of interesting. It was an interesting day. All right.
Yes, it was.
Lakin, what was your reason for starting?
I was getting married and I was moving, so I thought it would be a good way to contribute, but also meet new people in a new area.
Absolutely.
Now I do it so I can see my baby.
And so why do you continue?
So I can stay home. And
So you can stay home.
contribute to the-
So you know what? That's an awesome thing, because when you start to self-doubt or you start to let the excuses come, you're like me, you can just look at the kids and be like, oh, I better shift it into gear, you know? That's how I give myself the swift kick in the pants sometimes, is I just look at my kids and be like, oh, you know, well, they need eyeglasses. You know, we all went and got glasses a week and a half ago. Anybody want to guess how much money 5 pairs of glasses cost with eye exams? Anybody guess?
800.
Oh God, I wish it was only 800.
12.
$1,600
Dang.
for 5 of us to get our eyes examined and get glasses. Yes. So, guess who had to book a couple extra shows? Me. That's me. Yep. $1,600 here and gone. All right, Laura's turn.
Let's see. I started because we had a house fire and I couldn't find a consultant. And then that kind of fizzled, and then I met you. And then I figured I could try to make money out. So I haven't really made a whole lot of money to say that it's sustained us or really done a whole lot, because I tend to buy a lot of the products myself. but it is a great way to meet people. And I do like doing vendor events, even though I don't feel like it gets me what I really want, but it gets me out of the house. So why do I still do it? I'm not really sure why I'm still doing it, because it's not getting me where I really want to be. But I like the product, and like I said, I like meeting people, and I think it's actually somehow the powers that be, it is slowly starting to pick back up. So we'll see how this year goes.
You know, I say that's God saying, you're supposed to be here. And I've told this next person the same thing, because every time, I think you and her are like connected at the hip together, okay? I think you and Becky Chilcote are kind of on the same walk, because every time one of you tell me, I think I'm done, guess what happens?
It picks up.
Yes.
Crazy
It
thing.
does. It's a God thing. That's all I can say. It's a God thing. But Laura, I think that there's something else holding you here. And I think that's because you know deep down inside that you can do it.
I think so, yeah. I just don't push myself the way that I should. But yeah, that's going to change too. So
Yeah. Are you ready?
I am ready. And, you know, now that all the kids are playing ball, I'm never home anymore. So I'm actually meeting a lot more people.
Yeah.
And don't think that I don't have my stuff with me.
All right, Becky Chilcote.
I started because I had just recently retired from volunteer fire department and ambulance department. And all of my friends were in that circle. So all of a sudden, and no friends to do it with. So a mutual friend of Becky and I's invited me to, or gave me a catalog, or I don't think I even went to her house for a party. I just saw a catalog and placed an order, and Becky did customer care, called me or talked to me, and then next thing I know, she's asking me to join her team, and the next thing I know, I'm at her house signing up. And I've stayed with it despite some very serious thoughts about quitting. I've stayed with it for two important reasons. One of those is self-esteem. It does help you to believe in yourself. And the friendships that I have made through this company, I don't even know where to start with that. I'm not going to make myself or somebody else on here cry.
She's talking about the sap up here.
Yeah. I mean, like, oh my gosh, what is his name?
Michael
Reeves. I'll just tell you guys now, if you ever get a chance to hear him speak, or you can find him on YouTube, you do it. Because that man, talk about being through something. He shouldn't be here walking the earth. I'll just say that.
Absolutely.
There are people in this company that, just like Becky, have had their share of hard times. And then there's those that look like they've fallen into shit and come out smelling like a rose every single time. But that's called life. That's how it is. We all know those people. I used to like you, Tiffany.
This is what I love about this team.
Then she, I wasn't going to bring it up tonight, but, I can't help myself. I'm freezing in my little office here. That's, we have a lot of new people who you're just starting out, and you're going to have disappointments and you're going to have failures. But I've been doing this 4 years. Becky's been doing it 5.5.
Almost 6, yeah, July.
So don't give up on yourself too quickly. Laura's another good example. She wanted to. We beat her butt in Chicago and wouldn't let her. So, and there's another subject to bring up.
We're getting ready to.
Yeah. Okay. I'll let that one go for now. It's just, even if it doesn't make you a whole lot of money, you should see my office. I'm just sitting here in front of the computer so nobody can see it. Tomorrow's a snow day. I'm hoping I can get in here and get this place cleaned out because I'm pretty sure I have product down there I could sell.
There you go. All right, Miss Angie, what made you join Pampered Chef?
Well, for years I'd been looking for a second job to help on debt, and I attended a virtual party, and it intrigued me. It was something I could do at home. I didn't have to worry about rushing home, getting dressed in something else, and going to a different job. I could just do it in the comfort of my own home. So that's kind of why I started. It intrigued me as a second job.
Sorry, I was making sure that my kids weren't on Wi-Fi.
Oh, that's all right. And then, frankly, I was like absolutely in shock at how much product I got for $249 or whatever it was. It was amazing. So that's why I started.
And why do you stay, Angie?
I think one of the big reasons is just because I love it. I mean, the more shows I do, the more I love it, the more I'm creating, the more I don't know, there's something growing inside of me, a love for it, and I love my team.
Awesome. We love you too. All right, Miss Nikki.
About that thing growing inside you, we can have somebody check into that.
Oh, hopefully it's not a baby at my age.
I say nothing.
Oh, Mom.
Immaculate conception.
All right, Miss Nikki.
For me, it was many, many, many reasons. My husband had been working a night shift job. And yes, I'm talking about you, Spirit. Go back to listen to your music. But he had been working a night shift job, and I was working evening hours. And then he started a new job where he was working day, and I was still stuck working Monday through Friday evening hours, and we weren't spending that much time together. Plus, also, I couldn't be there for our family. His mom is legally blind. So she always needs somebody to take her to doctor's appointments and everything and shopping, and I couldn't do that, and it was killing me. I couldn't be there for my family.
Okay. And why do you stay?
Well, I actually just closed out my first major show where I was like, I can do this. This is awesome. So for me, I want to still be able to help my family when they need it, and whenever my husband and I have kids, be there for our kids, and just be able to be mom, or aunt, or whoever I am to whoever.
Right. Awesome. Brittany, last but not least, are you there still?
I'm here.
All right.
Yeah.
Your turn, girlfriend.
I joined because you twisted my arm.
Well, we all already know that.
No, I joined because I thought this was going to be easy.
How many of you guys would agree with that? How many of you guys thought this was going to be easy? Yeah. Okay, good. Keep going, Brittany.
I found out that it's not easy, and I'm a fighter, and I'm not going to go down without a fight. And let me tell you, I struggle. Every 3 months, I am like pushing and pushing and pushing for $150 in sales, like to my deadline every 3 months.
Why do you stay?
Because I'm a fighter, and I'm not going down without a fight.
There you go. So the reason why I did that, the reason why I wanted to go person by person is because I want you guys to see that each one of us, we started this for one reason, And we normally stay and continue doing it for another reason. And if you didn't notice this, almost everybody had a different reason why they start and why they stay. Okay? Because life changes as we change, or vice versa. Plus, I just am nosy and like to hear that stuff, but I'm just joking. So really, the real reason why I did it is because I wanted you guys to find that reason that every time you think about it, it pressures you into getting over whatever is stopping you and just do it. Okay? Find that reason, find that something. Like I said earlier, I go back to my kids' faces and looking at them and knowing that I do this for them. Find that one thing that every time you start to making an excuse, you look at that one thing or you remember that one thing, and that's what stops you from making that excuse. Okay, so I've got a challenge for you guys. For the next 7 days on our team page, every time you find yourself making an excuse and getting over it, and that's the key, getting over it, I want you to share what activity for your business you did and what your excuse was on our page, and use the hashtag #NoExcuses so that we can recognize it and congratulate you for getting over it, okay? So there's no more of this, no more I'll do it tomorrow, no more buts, no more I can't, no more it's too hard, no more I'm tired, no more waiting for it to get easier, no more I'm putting it off, no more I don't have enough money, no more I'm not good enough, no more if I would if I, just no more excuses. If you truly want this business bad enough, then you're going to work by the no excuses philosophy, okay? So that's the challenge, the next 7 days. I can't wait to see how many no excuses we get. So let's talk national conference for a minute. Who's going to conference with me? Woo! Becky's going? I heard Becky, wahoo. Who else is going?
I want to.
Brittany said she's going. Who else?
I want to.
Who said I want to? Who was that? Sorry, stop sharing. Who else is going to conference with me? So this is what I want you guys to know about conference. So conference is absolutely an amazing experience. Those of you guys that have been with me know just how amazing conference is. It can be a game changer in your business. It kind of gives you that fire that sometimes we need. Sometimes it's that kick in the pants that we need. I know who's gone with me. Becky Chilcote's gone with me. Laura's gone with me. Has anybody else? I think you guys are the only two because Angela's not on here. So Laura, what was one thing that you would tell these guys? If you could think of one thing about conference.
If you have the opportunity to go, definitely take advantage of it. I wish I could go.
Because kids
Right,
love
start here, so I can't go because my littlest one starts kindergarten. So I don't want to miss that. But the atmosphere there is amazing, and if you it really does put a fire in you, and the excitement, and I don't know, it's just crazy how many people would get excited over new products, but it really is amazing.
It is something that, like, the first time I went to conference, I was like, oh my gosh, these people are crazy. Like, they are just, it's like this big, huge conference center full of, like, pampered chef love is all I can say.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, when you see our founder cross that stage for the first time, okay, when conference opens, and the roof almost comes off of the building because it is so loud and so many people are streaming tears on their face when they see her. That in itself.
Never even met her.
No, that
Most
in
of us
itself
have never met her.
is just absolutely amazing. I can't
Yes.
even explain it. I can't even explain it. So Becky, what would you say? about conference?
A must do. Even if you can only go once, you must go and experience the energy. And I think you put it best, the room full of love. I mean, even at the hotel and sitting around in the evenings, you knew a couple of ladies walk by, now I'm friends with them on Facebook.
Right.
Chit chat now and then, and these are people who make a hell of a lot of money. Mm-hmm. They are big earners.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, but 99.9% of these people are just like you and me. No matter what their income is, but just like you and me. They love the product. They love Doris. They love people. They love cooking. And that's what it takes.
There's about 5 that have the unicorn horn, but that's about it. Just joking. So I would tell you guys that I know what your first thought is going to be when I talk about national conference is money. Okay. How much is it going to cost? Is it worth it financially? It's a lot of money to put out for a national conference. But I would tell you that it is totally worth the investment, okay? And I'm cheap. Like those of you guys that know me know I am extremely frugal, cheap, whatever you want to call me, I will accept either word. But it is something for myself and for my business that I do every year. Yes, I miss my family like crazy while I'm gone. Yes, I have to listen to my kids cry on the cell phone at nighttime when I talk to them. And I miss them and I cry and I do all that stuff. But it is also that little kick in the pants or kick in the gut, really. It's that little light that kind of flickers back on that sometimes you just need. That little fire that we all just need to be lit in our bellies that you get at conference that you may just be missing. Okay. And I know you guys are probably thinking to yourself, oh my God, it can't be that great. It is that great. And I would not lie to you about it. It is that great. So yes, it's an expense. It's a tax write-off first and foremost. Okay. So you can write off your travel, which means if you're flying with me, you can write that off. You can write off your registration for conference. You can write off your hotel and you can write off your meals while you're there. So everything about conference can be written off for taxes next year. Now, if you are a consultant that signed up from July 1st of 2016 until now, oh my gosh, it's $99.
Yeah, that's really irritating.
I know.
Take advantage of it.
Absolutely take advantage of it. Those of us that have been around a while have to pay $225 for registration. But you know what? It's worth it. It is so worth it. I mean, I can't even stress you guys enough. I would love to have, a big portion of the Wolfpack going to conference. Last year, I had shirts made for the couple that went, and, most everybody knows our team name because we're just that fabulous. And there is only one Wolfpack. Hello, there can't be anybody else other than us. But it's just the team atmosphere, the environment, everything about it. Sometimes it can just be that little push, and that's all you need. So anyway, you're going to hear me talking about conference more and more and more and more and more and more. You already know that until I twist your arms and make you buy tickets, to travel with me. I'll nag you to
It was really cool with the year I went. On the airplane, there were a whole bunch of us consultants.
Oh my God. It's great.
I
think 3/4 of the airplane is Pampered Chef.
The captain even announced us.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm drawing a blank. What are the dates for the conference?
Here, I'll pull the screen back up.
All right.
It is August 2nd, I believe, through the 5th.
That sounds right.
When is the final day to register?
It's in July. when or June. I think the end of June is when they'll stop registration. And so what I like is that normally they only give about a 6-week window for registration. And this year they actually opened it up early for people. And what I love about that is because you can kind of spread your expense out a little bit where before you couldn't. So now you could pay for your registration now, and then you can kind of wait to buy your airplane ticket, you know, until closer time. Or like me, I'm going to be shopping for my airplane ticket soon because they're cheap right now. But, you know, you can kind of spread the expense out a little bit. So I would tell you that, you know, take the plunge. Take the plunge. Do it for yourself. Do it for your business. If you register now and you decide that, you know, closer to time that you just can't go, you can cancel your registration and they will refund your money to you. But I would tell you that those of you guys that end up taking the plunge and going, you will come back and you will be saying the same exact thing that I just did, that Laura just did, and that Becky Chilcote just did, because it is absolutely amazing. All right, let's talk brides. All right. So everybody knows that Pampered Chef just updated our bridal registry, right? Has anybody been on there and playing around at all?
No.
I did a little bit.
Who said? Oh, Tiffany, you said you did? Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some figures for a minute. Did you know that 93% of couples register for wedding shower gifts? 93%. 2.3, the average number of showers brides have. So most average brides in the United States have at least 2 showers. 2.7 is the number, or the average number of registries a couple does. So most of the time, you know, they're going to pick their 2 or 3 favorites. So Bed Bath & Beyond, or, you know, Williams-Sonoma, or how about we make it Pampered Chef, right? $165 is the average amount of free product value earned at Pampered Chef wedding showers in 2016. Imagine if that word got around to our customers, our hosts, our Facebook friends that, you know, if you know somebody that's getting married, how about we shower them with $165 worth of free stuff? That's the average. That was what the average was that we gave away to our hosts last year that did bridal showers. So there are 3 different ways that we can help our brides plan for their special day. We can offer to assist them with a bridal shower, okay, which is going to be separate than, it's going to be different than just doing a bridal registry, or we can do both, okay? So we have the ability now to do a wedding shower, a wedding registry, and merge the 2 together, which is fabulous. So let me pull this screen up real quick, and we're going to walk through a little bit of where you can find the information if you haven't already started playing around with it. Let me go into my other screen. Can you guys see okay? Did my screen come up
Not
for
yet.
you?
No. No, it did.
Okay, let me make sure if I have to log back in or not, because
we got it now. It just takes a minute or so.
yeah, I'm checking to see if it's going to make me sign back in real quick.
I thought they changed that. It would stay on longer.
For orders, it will.
Oh.
I'm spinning and spinning and spinning. Is it snowing where anybody's at?
It is here.
Yeah, it is here.
What is snow?
Who said that?
Which thing you talk of?
Laura, you want me to send some down to you?
Please, I haven't seen it in a long time. I think 5 or 6 years.
I knew it was. Girl, you just need to come up here. You need to come up here and visit the team. That would be awesome.
That is actually one of my things for this year. I don't know what my password is. I have no idea. What do you
Bear
need?
with me. My computer's being
Yeah,
my computer's being a pain in the rump.
that is my goal this year, is to make a team meeting. Like, I'm gonna drive up there.
And actually, I would love to come down south to see you. I think I need to look at that too.
I have the room for you to come stay, or whoever else wants to come with you.
Road trip!
If I come with Becky, can you give me a separate bed? Because you know how I.
Me know how you are in the bed.
Look, you learn a lot about people at conference, guys. I'm telling you.
Or any other place you go overnight.
Serious. Okay, I'm having computer issues. Go figure. Really? My computer is menstrual. I think it is. I swear. Oh, thanks, honey. I appreciate that.
What did he say?
He said, oh, it's just like you then.
Oh, tell honey.
He's so nice to me. God, I love my husband. Okay, well, let me stop sharing and go back in. And what I may do, since it is getting time, because it's being menstrual, if it doesn't work, let me go out and go back in. Where am I at? Oh my goodness. Man, y'all are quiet. Stop being quiet. It's scary. Becky Chilcote, say something. You're scaring me.
You're scaring me.
Oh. Oh, Lord. Thank God I have a patient team is all I can say.
Do you still have the open concept in your kitchen?
Yes. Thanks
Do you?
Husband 1, wife 0.
Thanks for the reminder, Tiffany.
Aw, but it looks so pretty.
You're so full of it. Yeah, so we are done staining the cabinets. He just finished the second coat last night. And the cabinet doors are halfway, honey?
I got about 5 of them.
There's 5 cabinet doors done. And we went today to look at granite. So we have to go to the, yeah, this is not working. We have to go to the place to pick our slab on Saturday, hopefully.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I think what I'm going to have to do, because I don't know if it's my computer or if Pampered Chef's website's having issues. So I think what I'm going to do is, I was planning on doing it anyway. I'm going to make a video of the Pampered Chef website and how you can actually create the wedding shower shows and the gift registries. And I'll have plenty of time to do it tomorrow because I'll be snowed in. So you guys can be watching for that tomorrow because I cannot get the screen to work to save my life. But does anybody have any questions about it? I mean, I can probably talk you through some of it without showing you.
Kind of hard to ask questions if none of us have really looked at it and seen it, except for Princess Tiffany.
I tell ya.
I'm going to do it every time I can, girl.
Oh, just turn the knife a little bit more.
That's all right. I love you.
Y'all are amazing.
I love you too.
Okay, so anyway.
Well, can they also do, like I have a, Becky, I have a person in a party now that I guess is going to do like graduation presents and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Can that be in the same like registry?
Okay, so this is the difference, okay? So we have the option for a wedding shower, and which really the only difference is that you're setting it up instead of, you know how you select cooking show or virtual show or fundraiser, you select wedding shower, okay, for a wedding shower show. Now, a registry and a wish list are different. Okay, so you're going to want to use a wish list for, let's say, birthdays, Christmas, graduations, those kinds of things. You want to have people do a wish list.
Okay.
Now, a registry is where they're going to go on, they're going to pick their items, and then you can actually link the wedding shower show to the registry itself. Okay, so they can actually earn rewards on all of those registry items that people purchase. And then plus, you know, if you've been to a wedding shower, Tiffany, I know you went with me to that one.
Yeah.
We set up the shower board for them. And so people shop from that too. Now, let's say they don't want to do the actual wedding shower part of it, but just want to set up a wedding registry. So I'm doing that with a customer next month in April. And so what I've done is I had her go on and create a wedding registry. And then what we're going to do is we're going to run a virtual Facebook party for her with her wedding registry. And I'm going to open up a virtual party. Or wait a minute, how did I do that? Let me pull it up to see how I did it. Oh,
that's what I want to do with this potential guest that wants the information for the registry now, because she's getting married in September, but she lives across the state, so it's not like I could have I'm not driving, 2-3 hours to do a party,
Yeah, so when I created the show, I did it as a wedding show because a wedding type. So I'm talking about the actual type of the show. So you have cooking, you have catalog, you have fundraiser.
Right.
So wedding is the only one that you can actually then take that link from where they create the wedding registry and link it to a show so that they're actually able to earn rewards too. Okay. So that's what I'm doing with this host next month. So even though she's not doing a physical in-person wedding shower, we're still doing a wedding Facebook party. With a wedding registry that's linked to that party. Does that make any sense? It'll make more sense when I show you guys tomorrow when I make the video of actually how to connect the two of what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, it definitely gives a lot of opportunity. So what I would tell you guys with the wedding end of it is just put it out there on your events, put it out there on your VIP page. And what I did was, does anybody know anybody getting married in the next 6 months? And I just asked that simple, basic question. And then as they responded to it, I private messaged them and said, hey, just wanted to let you know that Pampered Chef just redid their whole bridal shower and wedding registry process. Would you be interested in more information? And I booked 3 wedding showers and 2 wedding registries already from just doing that. So keep it simple.
Oh, is there a graphic?
Yeah, if you go on to, so if you go on to Pampered Chef or on to Consultants Corner and go on to the My Shows tab, all the way down toward the bottom, you're going to see a place where it says wedding showers. If you go there, all of the information on wedding showers has now been updated on there. There's graphics available on there. There's all kinds of things that are available on there now. And then if you go over 2 more tabs, I can't remember what that one is off the top of my head. And down, there's a place where it says wish lists and registries. That's where you're going to find the information on using wish lists and using the registries. So that's the 2 places that you guys are going to want to check out to kind of understand when I make the video tomorrow a little bit more about it.
And I do want to say, because whenever David and I got married, I did have a Pampered Chef bridal shower. And the one thing that was a seller for a lot of our guests was that they didn't have to bring a gift. They could buy the gift there. And they love that idea. But I also want to say on the same foot as a consultant, please don't take over the bridal shower. The bride and her family have worked to put it together. Don't take it over, because that's what the consultant did at mine, and it was horrible.
Yeah.
I can hear.
And that's all a part of the host coaching process, and really figuring out what your bride and whoever the coordinator of it is, whether it's the best friend or the mom or whatever. There's several different ways to do a bridal shower. Sometimes they're going to want you to make food. Sometimes they're not going to want you to make food. Sometimes they're just going to want you to set up a wish list board, and that's fine. Whatever it is that they want is how you need to do it. Okay? Because it's still going to be a benefit to you and to them in the long run. So I try to keep that to a minimum. Like the one I did when Tiffany went there, I set up their bridal boards for them. I did the games for them, but I didn't make any food. They actually had the wedding shower itself at Haas's in the restaurant. And so, I didn't have anything to do with the food, but I did the games for her and did some of the fun stuff, and then the wedding shower part of it, as far as the product goes. But it was successful. It closed out at like $1,000 in sales. All right, so moving on. I just want to say thank you and congratulations to Tiffany, to Angela, to Angelica, and to Lakin, that have all made it to week 3 of the 6 Weeks to Success program. We were asked to participate by Claudia Bazar 3 weeks ago in the program, and these were the girls that hopped on it and have been rocking it out every week with me. They've been joining every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock with the whole no excuse, right, girls, mentality. And they've submitted their homework every week, and trust me, it's been a lot of homework. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Yes. But I wanted to kind of, just give a shout out, because I think, sometimes we put these programs out there, and, it's a benefit to your business when you do take the extra time to invest in yourself and invest in your business. And hopefully you guys are learning something from it. So I just wanted to stop for a minute and say thank you guys for doing that. But then find out, so far, what is your top takeaway that you've learned from that program? So we'll start with Angelica. What's your top takeaway?
Don't take no for an excuse.
Don't take no for an excuse. Tiffany, what would you say? What's your top takeaway so far?
Oh, God. Well, it's just with the last thing with the booking is no, not now, no, not never.
Right. Absolutely.
So.
It's important to remember that, because, sometimes just now's not the right time for somebody to host a party, but 6 months from now could be the perfect time. And it's,
right.
That doesn't just apply for bookings. It also applies for becoming a consultant too, because, we all know how fast life changes. So, Lakin, what's your top takeaway so far?
Regardless of how you feel, you need to just do it anyway. If the phone scares you, it's okay. Do it regardless.
Woo! I love it. Angie, what's yours?
That is what I was going to say, that fear is not an excuse, and enjoying it is not, like I said earlier, is not a requirement to doing it. So do it anyway. I know that phone calls is one of my bad things. I hate cold calls.
Yeah.
So I just need to get over it.
Would we all agree that at some point in life, we all have to do something that we don't like to do?
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's always something. I don't like to pay my bills, but I do it anyway. Right? There's something that we do every day that we're not comfortable doing. We don't like to do, but we have to do it anyway. So it's kind of like working our business, in order for us to push forward and gain momentum, we have to kind of step outside of our comfort zone and do what seems impossible and make it possible. So kudos to you girls for sticking with it. We have 3 more weeks to go. So I can't wait to see, how you guys make out by week 6. I think that by the end of the 6 weeks, Claudia is going to have you guys whipped into shape, and hopefully your businesses will reflect that. And I love that she's stretching you guys outside of your comfort zone a little bit. And for those of you guys that have not gotten to witness Claudia in action for her training, it is absolutely amazing. And, we will be running the program again once this one ends. So when you guys see that we're going to run the 6 weeks to success again, make sure that you take advantage of it. All right, let's do some recognition. Let's see who our top 10 for the Wolfpack was last month. If my computer decides to cooperate. Whoop, whoop, there it goes. Can y'all all see that?
Holy shit.
Oops.
Sorry.
All right, so let's go down the list and see who our number one. Number one was Tiffany. You're so funny. Oh my gosh. All right, so number one in sales, we had Tiffany Staver with $1,642.95. Whoop, whoop. Number two was Angela Keel Welsh with $1,243.72. Woo! Number three was Bridget Weaver with $1,137.18. I wish she was on here. Number four was Laura Blackman with $959.25. Way to go, Laura. See what perseverance does? Number five was Stephanie Leitner with $695.40. Number six was Melanie Ogg, which is brand new consultant. That was her first show she submitted with $670.44. Number seven, wow. Nikki Reichard with $657.62. Also her very first cooking show she submitted. Number eight was Becky Chilcote with $559.16. Number nine was Jody LaRue with $322.42. And number 10 was Angelica Faircloth with $297.75. Way to go, guys. Guys should all be proud of yourselves. All right, so upcoming events. Don't forget, if you received the envelope in the mail from Julie Fisher, you have until the 15th to RSVP to her for that exclusive invite-only event to be held at the bed and breakfast up off of Walnut Bottom, I think is where it is.
Ragged Edge.
Ragged Edge. There you go.
Ragged Edge.
Please make sure to RSVP to me no later than Friday if you are going to be joining me at Lily's house on March 20th. So it's the next day for a special team training with Lily, with Julie. So this one's an open invite to everybody. If you're interested in going to that one, you can private message me and I will send you the address information for that. And Lily is also asking if anybody is willing to bring a recipe. So I would need to know if you're going to bring a recipe and if you're also going to it. And again, you need to RSVP no later than Friday. That way the girls have time to make sure they have enough materials and stuff together. So if I don't hear from you by Friday night, unfortunately you would not be able to go because I've got to give them a firm number on Saturday morning. Our next team meeting for our out-of-towners. What's that?
What did you just say?
What part did you miss?
About Lily's. The last part.
Oh, that if you don't RSVP.
You're not going?
Oh, I'm going. What? I'm going to it, Becky.
Okay,
Is she
okay, I thought
the
you
one?
said something about unfortunately I can't go.
You can't go? What?
I love computer technology. I will PM you.
Okay.
Okay.
Tiffany's cracking up laughing. Oh my God. I love you guys. It's almost over. Okay, mark your calendars for our next team meeting. For our out-of-town peeps, it'll be April 9th. on Zoom. And then for our locals, it will be April 10th. And I just want to leave you guys with this quote. Let me know once it pops up. I found this one today, and it just kind of spoke to me when I was writing the training. If you chase the money, you'll never get it. But if you chase after your dream to serve others, the money will follow you. And that was a quote from our founder, Doris Christopher. So
I like it.
Yeah, me too. You know, serving others is not always fun, but I think at the same time, you know, you get blessed in many ways, helping others to reach their dreams. So I would just challenge each one of you guys to kind of stick that in your mind, that this business is not just about us, that it's really about helping everybody, with our mission at Pampered Chef. So, you know, just make sure that you're sharing this business with everyone. You know, don't be selfish. Don't keep it to yourself, you know, because there's someone out there that needs to have Pampered Chef in their life for the same reasons that you guys all chose to do Pampered Chef. There's also someone out there that's looking for the same reason. You know, they may have the same reason or need something like Pampered Chef to be a part of their life. So, does anybody have any questions at all? Did you guys like the little slideshow?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, good. Because I had fun making it, so. I just wish my computer would have cooperated a little bit more. So we'll see if we can work on that part of it. But anyway, again, I thank you guys for, you know, sticking it out with me through all the computer issues. And that didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. I think we did pretty good. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. And for most of us, tomorrow is going to be a snow day. So what is a snow day, the perfect day to do?
Work your business.
Work that business. Yes, it is the perfect day to work your business because just like most of you are going to be home, guess what? So are the rest of the people around you. Okay. So tomorrow's the perfect time to reach out to people and do customer care calls, to do those out of the box calls, to follow up with people that you've given catalogs to follow up with people that in the past said that they might host a show for you, to follow up with people that said that they might join your team. Tomorrow is the day to do it. So let me know. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to start a snowball fight on our page. Okay? So I am going to throw the first snowball, and I want to see who is going to throw the next one. So when I throw the first snowball, you have to respond with a snowball when you book a show. That's going to be our challenge tomorrow, to see how many snowballs we can throw at each other. How many parties can we book tomorrow and fill our schedules up with? Who's in it with me? Who wants a snowball fight? Yeah? Come on, Laura. I know you don't have snow, but I can give you a snowball.
What? Okay, I'll do it.
Okay, good. All right, guys. Thank you. What's that?
Don't shop Amazon.
No.
Don't shop Amazon tomorrow.
He's not going to die when we go back to work.
I'm going on Amazon tomorrow, just so you have to pick my order.
Chef.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Talk with you all soon.
Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
You have to say bye.